All friends, Jayadhan Radhan here. So the product of the day is machinery breakdown insurance. Machinery breakdown insurance. I'll take you to the background. In the last decade of the 19th century, a machinery breakdown insurance with a rather wider scope was conceived and introduced in Germany at the initiative of the Munich Reinsurance Company. It was intended to grant cover for machinery of any kind against damage occurring during normal operations. So after overcoming some initial difficulties, the insurance developed very satisfactorily in the form it had been given. And later on it was successfully introduced in all industrial countries on the continent. So this kind of insurance is today underwritten in most of the countries. After this introduction, you will come to know that the machinery breakdown insurance and its scope and procedure adopted in determining the sum insured and the indemnity. It originated from Germany. So the second part of these notes, the routine work a machinery breakdown insurer has to perform in canvassing and servicing the business is dealt with. Because machinery breakdown insurance is a branch which is rather exacting on the insurer and can be transacted successfully only if it conceived, means including the client. So the basic features are the peculiar features. This is why this policy has the oldest coverage of the material damage and third parties. So, under machinery breakdown insurance, it is possible to insure practically all stationary and mobile machinery, mechanical equipment and apparatus used in industry and trade, including motor pumps, hoist, air conditioning plant, tunnel, lathes, looms, printing machineries, cranes, transformers, diesel engines, steam engines, boilers, and even the largest steam turbosets. So in order to explain to you in greater detail the term unforeseen and sudden physical loss or damage, some typical causes of losses are enumerated like carelessness and lack of skill in the operation and machinery and maintenance of machinery. The majority of the indemnities payable by machinery breakdown insurance is due to losses attributable to these causes, that is to human failure, a most regrettable symptom of advancing industrialization, higher living standards and decreasing unemployment observed in nearly all countries, is that work is performed much less consciously and reliably. At the same time, machines becomes more complicated and the functions by human labor simpler and more monotonous. For example, overloading of machinery is due to an inadvertent selection of a higher operating speed tools left lying around, which may easily get into a machine failure to observe warning instructions, maintenance of controlling devices. So industry is following up this development with greater concern and is glad about the cover provided by the insurer. So basically we see the policy provides the cover for physical loss of or damage to machinery and equipment against unforeseen and sudden physical loss of or damage to the insured items necessitating their repair or replacement other than specified excluded perils. So significant extensions are air freight, extra freight excluding air freight, overtime and holiday wages, insured's own surrounding property, and third-party liability. But the policy does not cover the loss related to fire and related perils, theft, overloading experiments, willful acts or gross negligence, gradual flaws, defects or necessitating immediate stoppage, normal wear and tear, consequential losses, pre-existing defects, and terrorism. As far as the sum insured is concerned, the value proposed for insurance should be equal to the new replacement cost, including freight, erection cost, and custom duty. Because the policy is issued on the all-risk basis, add-on covers of the policy are third-party liability, 25% of the gross average rate on limit specified. Owner's surrounding property, 25% of the gross average machine breakdown rate. Escalation up to 25% of the project value. Supreme rate is 50% of the full value. Debris removal is 0.25%. Express freight, holiday and overtime rate for wages. Average rate is to be taken. Air freight additional custom duty. For air freight, only 5% of the indemnity limit selected. For additional custom duty, 2% of the additional custom duty selected. Terrorism rate as per the rated by vegetarian food. Sometimes on the premium rate, discounts for voluntary access can be given because there is a provision to provide two times of minimum access 10%, 5 times of minimum access 20%, 10 times of minimum access 30%, 20 times of minimum access 42.5%. For additional underwriting discounts, risk features, claim experience, age of machine, maintenance facility, internal or AMC, indigenous or imported machine, etc. has to be seen. When the proposal is accepted by the underwriters, it is viewed that the complete detail is given. Generally, machines aged 5 years are not underwritten. Past loss history should be nil for 3 years. Will not generally be underwritten on a standalone basis. AMC contract should be enforced during policy period. Machinery breakdown cover of contract machinery, medical equipment, and windmill generally not to be underwritten. So, as far as the specific risk are concerned, there has to be an understanding of it. Say, for example, malicious damage and sabotage. So, by consistently guarding factories against outsiders, consistently supervising the personnel and endeavoring to maintain a good working atmosphere, the danger of malicious damage and sabotage can be reduced. But in spite of such measures, it is always possible that a discontented worker who feels that he has been treated unfairly takes revenge against the management by damaging machinery or even rendering it completely useless. So the famous case of throwing a spanner into the works. Similarly, faulty designs and faulty casing and faulty material, and then short circuiting, excess voltage and electrical arcing, normal atmospheric influence. But important of them is centrifugal force. So as far as the centrifugal force is concerned, the damage caused by centrifugal force was particularly serious at the time when piston types steam engine with large flywheels were still predominant in the field of flywheels. When these flywheels reached an excess speed and disintegrated, one talked about a flywheel explosion. Today, large flywheels are not as common as they used to be, but if one of the present day steam of water turbines overspeeds, say due to feature of control, it is still possible for very heavy damages to be caused by centrifugal forces. So this brief list of possible causes of damages will give you some idea of the coverage provided by the machinery breakdown insurance, but you cannot doubt or imagine that there are many other causes of the unforeseen and sudden loss. The cover is actually very wide, since in accordance with the policy conditions, the nature of the insurer is liable for all losses except those specifically excluded, because the policy is always policy. So the wording of the policy, a copy of which you will have, lists the exclusions rather clearly, but to give you the full picture, they are enumerated again. So certain exclusions differs company to company. So fixing of sum insured and indemnities is most important, because policy is subject to under insurance. So as far as the machinery breakdown insurance policy is concerned, when sum insured is fixed, all the costs should be kept in mind, and it should not be insured for the undervalue. Otherwise, at the time of loss, the claim will be reduced proportionately, and insured would be the loser. Machinery breakdown policies are, as a rule, taken out for a period of 1 year, and the premium rates are therefore also on the annual basis. For electrical machineries, you may be aware that there is a tariff, and for non-electrical equipments, there is a guide tariff in your engineering manual, but nowadays market is price free, so any company can charge any rate. Premium rate is the sole discretion of the insurer. Thank you very much.